Welcome to Finished Work International Ministries, a ministry that is on the cutting edge, changing lives around the world. As you let God in today and apply the word, expect a divine encounter and supernatural transformation.
It is impossible for you to be defeated when you have the revelation of the will of God. It is impossible for situations to subdue you when you walk in understanding of what God is saying to you. Let the finished work of Jesus determine what you pray.
When God is your source, you don't look back. You keep looking forward. You keep trusting. God, I trust you.
Here's Apostle Faithman Ogboada.
This is a leadership adventure that I believe that have the potential to inspire you and help you to stay effective as a leader. And today we'll be talking about passion for effective leadership. That's what we're going to look at today. Passion for effective leadership. Becoming a great leader begins with the passion to make a difference. I said, becoming a great leader begins with the passion to make a difference. If I don't have the passion to make a difference, I can't be a successful leader. So if you are going to be an effective leader, there has to be passion. Passion is energy in the right direction. Passion is energy in the right direction. Passion is strength, release towards a right direction. Passion is a drive. Passion is energy. Passion is a drive. So I need to have passion for leadership, a drive, a crave for leadership, interest. Passion can also be seen as interest. So if I don't have interest for leadership, I can't truly be an effective leader. Passion opens the door of effective leadership. You know, someone may have an intention to lead. An intention is not passion. Passion has commitment. True passion has commitment. Passion has commitment. Now, this is why we said that all leaders are not in the same place when it comes to energy, when it comes to focus, because it takes passion to sustain your quest for leadership. So a true leader, you can feel the energy of the leader. If you see someone who believes in what he or she is doing, you can connect with their passion. You can tell that she is passionate about this business. She's passionate about this relationship because passion is a drive, is the driving force. So without passion, you cannot truly be a strong leader. So you need to develop passion for leadership. Passion for leadership. The passion to make a difference. The passion to take the lead. The passion to be outstanding in what you do. The passion to take the lead. The passion to be outstanding in what you do. And the passion to make a difference. When you see a passionate leader, someone who is passionate about what they're doing, it is difficult for any form of distraction to pull them out of their direction. Because passion is an emotional energy. If you look at the life of Jesus, he had passion for what he was doing. That was why Jesus could say, "For this purpose I was born." Because passion will drive you beyond the limitations. If true, the passion to lead is the reason for making sacrifice. If we're truly going to make sacrifice as leaders, the passion to lead is what leads to sacrificial leadership. Because for a leader without passion, people could easily teach something to someone. You ask them to do it, but there is no passion in their hearts. There is no passion in their hearts concerning what you ask them to do. This is why visions die in the hands of people. One of the reasons why visions and goals are not being achieved is that most time people involved in it don't have passion for it. They are involved, but there is no passion, because passion is commitment. Passion is commitment on the right direction. So we have to develop passion for effective leadership. Why do we say effective leadership? If we use the word effective leadership, that means there are leadership that is not effective. There is a leader, but he's not an effective leader. He's a leader, but he's not effective. How do you know an effective leader? Number one, he focused the people on the vision. An effective leader will focus the people on the vision. That is number one. Number two, an effective leader will train people for the vision. An effective leader will train people for the vision. Number one, he focused the people on the vision. Number two, he trains them for the vision. Number three, he inspires them for the vision. An effective leader will inspire people for the vision. He becomes a symbol of inspiration. He will inspire people for the vision. Number four, he will become an example for others to follow. An effective leader will become an example for others to follow. An effective leader is going to be an example for others to follow. He's going to live in such a way that many could recognize what he's doing. It's going to be an example for others to follow. Number five, an effective leader will go extra mile for the vision. An effective leader will go extra mile for the vision. He's going to go extra mile. He's going to do what others would not enjoy to do. Why? Because the vision is a mandate. That vision is a mandate for him. It's a mandate that he has to carry out as a leader. So an effective leader will go beyond the ordinary point. Why? Because he has it as a mandate. Number six, an effective leader responds to instruction and correction. An effective leader responds to instruction and correction. He responds to instruction and he responds to correction. Because, can I say this to us? You can't go very far in leadership if you're rigid. You can't go very far. A rigid leader is not ready for growth. If you're rigid as a leader, you are not ready for growth. If you're rigid as a leader, you close the door of innovation. When a leader is rigid, he closes the door of innovation. When a leader is rigid, he sees things from the perspective of his ignorance. When a leader is rigid, he sees things from the perspective of his ignorance, unknowing to him that he's ignorant, because instruction and correction has potential to accelerate your organizational vision. Instruction and correction has the potential to accelerate your organizational vision, the vision of your organization. So instruction and correction, sometimes when insecure people see correction as abuse. Don't forget to write that down. Insecure people see correction as an abuse. Insecure people see instruction as an intimidation. Why? Because they are insecure. They see correction as an abuse. Correction is the foundation for excellence. If you're truly going to be a person of excellence, then you have to respond to correction. If I'm a kind of person who don't like correction, it means I'm not ready for leadership. Because in leadership, you don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. So a wise leader is a great listener. A wise leader is a great listener. Is someone who listens. A wise leader likes to listen. Why? Because by listening, he can develop a right sense of judgment. A wise leader listens. He understood that the only way he can be effective is to have a knowledge. And knowledge comes by listening. Knowledge comes by listening. So a wise leader listens. You can save your company from debt when you listen. You can save yourself from debts when you listen. You can save yourself from frustration when you listen. So great leaders understand the energy of listening. I just want to listen. What does she have to say? What does he have to say? Because as you listen, then you see things you never saw. You start seeing things you never saw. So an effective leader enjoys listening as part of his leadership strength. As part of his leadership strength, he enjoys to listen because listening is the process of learning. Listening is the process of learning. And listening is also the process of developing mental capacity. Listening is one of the process of developing your mental capacity as a leader. One of the ways you develop your mental capacity is when you listen. Because in the course of listening, conversation has potential to change our thinking. Conversation has the potential to change our thinking. Conversation. So I want to get involved in conversations that will strengthen my focus. I want to get involved in conversation that will inspire me to go beyond the limitation. I want to get involved in the conversation that will help me develop my leadership capacity. Because if I'm not listening, I won't be able to go very far. That's a wise leader. A wise leader doesn't know everything. A wise leader will look for opportunity to know things that will help his leadership. He's not someone that knows everything. He's someone who is willing to learn everything that will help his leadership. That's a wise leader. So for you to be an effective leader, never see yourself as the institution. See yourself as part of the institution. Never see yourself as the institution, or never see yourself as the organization. See yourself as part of the organization. Because whether you're the key boss, whatever you are in that organization, if you see yourself as part of the organization, you are going to contribute. But if you see yourself as the organization, you feel like everything must come from you. Everything don't have to come from me. If someone gets this right, I just want to follow. A wise leader knows when to be a follower. Don't forget that. That's very powerful. A wise leader knows when to be a follower. A wise leader knows when to be a follower. Why did I say that? A wise leader could look at something and said, this person is telling the truth, let's follow. He knows how. A wise leader knows when to be a follower, because when you become a follower, especially when it's a conversation that will build your organization, that will build your business, or that will build your relationship, and you choose to listen, you will save yourself so much. A lot of people are having a broken hearts today, frustrated, and they're losing their focus. Why? Because they don't listen. If an effective leader sees things from different perspectives, not just one perspective. He look at this, he look at that, then he judges it and check what is best for the organization. This is why he's called an effective leader. He's an effective leader because he's willing to let go an idea that can add to his organization. That's an effective leader. I came with the idea, but we have looked at this idea right now. This idea is not going to help my organization. So let's take, for instance, Chuck is saying something, or maybe Shamin is saying something, or maybe Denzel, maybe someone in the group or our friend is saying something, and then I'm able to listen to what they're saying. Now, I may have come with an idea, and they said, why not think about it in this direction? Someone said, why not consider it in this direction? A wise leader enjoys contribution because contribution is strategic for effective leadership. A wise leader enjoys contribution. Can I hear you? Can you say something to me? Can you bring something to the table? A wise leader understands that leadership becomes effective when it is a team. Leadership becomes effective when leadership is a team. That's how you become a strong leader. You are not a strong leader because all the ideas came from you. You are a strong leader because you have the ability to network with others. I want to say that again. I said you are not a strong leader because all the ideas came from you. You are a strong leader because of your ability to network with others. That's what makes you a strong leader. Your ability to network with others. And it's so important. An effective leader knows how to work with different kind of people. If you can work with different kind of people, you're not a leader. You should be able to work with people with different level of character, people with different level of integrity, people with different level of understanding. So you have to develop your skill to be able to work with people at different levels. Because if you can't work with people at different level, you're not a leader. A leader is not someone who only works with people he likes. There are people you may not like them, but they are skillful when it comes to the job. There are people you may not like them, but they are gifted in solving problems. So my ability to put the differences away and focus on solution makes me an effective leader. That makes me an effective leader. The ability to network with people of different class. So I know she could do this. I know he could do this. I know your ability to work with different people reveals your strength of leadership. So if people you work with are, then you have a lot of job to do to improve your skill to work with people at different level. Because leadership is professional. I said leadership is professional, and it requires professional understanding to remain as an effective leader. Leadership is professional. And because it's professional, it requires professional understanding. What is the goal? What is the vision? We are here because there is a corporate vision we're pursuing. So the conversation is always within the neighborhood of that corporate vision. So you understand what I should say here and what I should say there. An effective leader understands what to say in every given relationship. An effective leader. An effective leader understands what to say in every given relationship. He knows what to say to this person. He knows what to say to that person. He knows what to say to this client. He knows what to say to this customer. He knows what to say to this person. An effective leader understands what it means to say what it takes to help everyone in the team. Becoming a leader begins with a vision to make a difference. That's very strategic. It begins with a vision to make a difference. So passion for leadership is what we're looking at today. That if you're going to be an effective leader, you need to be a leader with passion. We said that passion is a drive. We said that passion is an emotional energy. We said passion is energy on the right direction. We know there are people that are having passion in the wrong direction, but for the purpose of this class, passion is energy on the right direction. That's how we're defining it today. Passion, energy on the right direction. Passion, energy to accomplish the right task. Passion, the energy to accomplish the right task. Passion, the energy to accomplish the right task. Passion, the energy to accomplish the right task. So, an effective leader look beyond mistakes and accept correction for growth. An effective leader looks beyond mistakes and accept correction for growth. An effective leader looks beyond mistakes and accept correction for growth. Why? Because he is an effective leader. He has a goal. He has a target. I was talking to someone some few days back, and this person was so hot. A lady that works for me in our local church, and she was so hot because someone said something about her, and I noticed her attitude change. Then I was talking with her. I said, listen, you cannot be in leadership and people don't talk about you. That there is going to be side conversation about you. People will say things about you that when you hear it, you want to quit. But if you keep giving up, you can be a leader. If you keep quitting because of what you heard this person said, that person said that, you can quit. You can be a leader. A leader develops a tough skin. What I mean by that, he has resistance for accusation. He has resistance for confusion. He has resistance for gossip. So a leader is not someone that gossip will affect his vision. He is beyond that kind of thinking. Because there are a lot of people that think because, okay, I'm doing the will of God, no one is going to criticize me. No, you're making a big mistake. People will talk about you. People used to talk about me. I used to hear it, but I'm not interested. You know what I'm interested? I'm interested in my vision. I'm not interested in the side talk. I'm not interested in what they feel about me or what they say. I don't care. You know what I care? I care about the vision. Because if you don't focus on your vision, even someone very close to you can be a distraction. An effective leader understands that the vision is the focus. I have to talk to this lady until she begins to see the right picture. I said, listen, when you have made the decision to make a difference, Satan will come with distraction. And one of the enemies of leadership is distraction. And distraction can be likened to a situation that upsets you, that gets you frustrated and you get angry. I'm not going to be effective anymore. I'm not going to be committed anymore. I'm not going to do my job. No. You can never grow with that attitude. No. Shit. That shit. You can't grow with that. You can get to the top with that. That's how children used to be. Many of you know my son, they call him Isaac. When Isaac is 6 years old, when Isaac is angry, look at what Isaac used to do. Isaac would go outside. He would go and stay outside. He wouldn't talk to us. And after a while, Isaac will come back. And then he would talk. He actually helps me to manage my room, to help me clean my room. So almost every week I have to pay Isaac to help me clean the room. You know, he will sweep it. He will come and ask me any job to do. So I'm excited that he wants to work. But sometimes when he's offended, he walks away. And that is how so many adults behave. Children can behave that way. They are pardoned. But when you see an adult leaving he or her responsibility because of offense, that's not the leader. That's not the leader. That's not the leader. A leader understands that there is going to be issues, and he sits down with other leaders to resolve the issue and continue in the pursuit of the vision. That is what is called maturity in understanding. Maturity is not based on how old you are. Someone can be 30 years old, they are not matured in their thinking. Someone can be 70 years old, they are not matured in their thinking. Someone can be 55 years old and they are not matured in their thinking. Matured thinking comes from the ability to resist. Ability to resist, to be able to say, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is not going to distract me, because distraction frustrates passion. I want to say that again. Distraction has the potential to frustrate passion. And one of the ways that people passion are being frustrated is because of distraction. This person said this, that person said this, this person did this. Let me say this to you. To be an effective leader, you have to be professional in your thinking. What do I mean that? I said to be an effective leader, you have to be professional in your thinking. This is the job we're doing. And this is why we're doing the job. And the job is going to be our focus. And this is why we are here. And we're going to do why we are here. You get what I'm saying right now? We're going to do why we're here. So if I don't think from a professional point of view, I will always be personal with issues. And when I'm personal with issues, that keeps me away from doing what I ought to do. That is the reason why I have to be professional in my thinking. What is the most important thing? The objective. What is the most important thing? The vision. What is the most important thing? The policy that governs that vision. What is the most important thing? To concentrate on what brings the results. That's a leader. He's asking, what is the most important thing? Why are we together? Why are we in this place? What is the purpose? You see, when people don't understand purpose, they confuse everything. They bring confusion into everything. Because when you understand purpose, you can interpret things from understanding, because you understood purpose. You know, some people will tell me, I want to be great, I want to be successful, I want to be influential, I want to be a great speaker. But those things don't just happen. They don't just happen. Having a degree from college does not equal great leadership skill. So if you're going to be an effective leader, you need to understand what it means to lead yourself. That's the second point we're going to look at today, leading yourself. Wow. If you cannot successfully lead yourself, you won't be able to lead others. A great leader will be able to lead himself. The areas where you have to lead yourself, number one, you have to learn how to lead yourself mentally. You have to learn how to lead yourself mentally. Number two, you have to learn how to lead yourself emotionally. You have to learn how to lead yourself emotionally. Number three, you have to learn how to lead yourself spiritually. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You have to learn how to lead yourself. If you can't lead yourself, it will be difficult to lead anyone. If you can lead yourself, and leading yourself is the most challenging part of leadership. Being able to lead yourself. You're asking us to do this. Do you do it? You're asking us to commit at this level. Are you committed at that level? You're asking us to do this or do that. Or are you at the same level of commitment that you're demanding from us? Being able to lead yourself makes you an example for those who watch and those who follow you. Being able to lead yourself. You see, leading yourself begins with a clarity of vision of what you want to manifest. Leading yourself begins with a clarity of vision of what you want to manifest. So if I can't lead myself, how can I lead this organization? In leading yourself, you should be able to manage your time. That's part of leading yourself. Being able to manage your time. If you're not a good time manager, you won't be able to lead yourself very well. What do you give time to? Do you give time to things that promote the vision? Do you give time to things that promote your purpose? Do you give time to things that help you get better? A wise leader understands that time is a resources. I said a wise leader understands that time is a resources. I want to say that again. I said a wise leader understands that time is what? Time is a resources. And time is a major resources when it comes to leadership. Time is a major resources. How do you manage your time? How do you manage your time? How do you use your time? I want to use my time for things that promote purpose, things that promote the goals I have set, things that promote vision. Because whatever I put my time into, I want to ensure that it can promote purpose. If it's not promoting purpose, I can invest time into it. I cannot invest time. I don't like losing time personally. I like to always maximize my time. Even when I'm relaxing, sometimes I can be relaxing, then I decide to play some games. I used to play some games too. Personally, I like to play football. So I will tell my son, bring me football. And make sure you arrange the team in such a way that the teams are very difficult to win. So make it tough for me. So he sets it, it makes it tough. Then I start playing. Then I need to think. I need to think to win it. I'm not going to get a trophy from anybody. But you see, there are things that helps your thinking. If I lose the match, I will feel it emotionally. Oh my God, I thought I could have won those guys. So even when you play games or you watch movies as a leader, always watch movies that inspire your leadership. Always put your time into things that promote you intellectually, things that promote you mentally, things that promote you spiritually, and things that promote you emotionally. A wise leader is looking for, even if let's say we're relaxing, what are we relaxing with? Okay, I just want to be in conversation with someone. So what kind of conversation? How is the conversation going to help me emotionally or mentally as a leader? I'm always looking for, okay, can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me? You can hear me? You can hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, then they'll say it's good. I can go. Okay. Well, so if I want to be successful as a leader, there are things I need to begin to understand leading myself. Because if I don't truly lead myself, I cannot be able to lead others. Now, let me share with you, there are key things you have to look at for when you're leading yourself. Number one, don't be hard on yourself. Number one, don't be hard on yourself. If you are going to lead yourself, don't be hard on yourself. Number two, when you make mistakes, don't get distracted by your mistakes. Number two, I said what? If you make mistakes, don't get distracted by your mistakes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, wave your hands. Wave your hands. Okay, beautiful. That's good. That's good. Now, don't be hard on yourself. Chuck, I think you're losing some connection on your end. Shamin is hearing me. Denzel is hearing me. All those hearing me, can you wave your hands? Wave your hands. Okay. Okay. Chuck, maybe you're losing connection. You need to log in and return back. Maybe your connection is going to be better. Okay. So now you don't have to be hard on yourself if you're going to be an effective leader. Whenever you make a mistake, learn from the mistake, but don't be hard on yourself. Because being hard on yourself is not going to help you to lead yourself. The next thing you have to consider, putting yourself down as a leader does not increase your leadership. Putting yourself down as a leader does not increase your leadership. You shouldn't be able to get to a point where I don't have to put myself down. Yes, I messed up. I need to pick up myself again and so on. I need to move in the right direction. When you make mistakes, don't give up on yourself. When you make mistakes, and let me say this to you, wise leaders understand that learning is a process. Can you hear me? Can you get me? Can you hear me? I say wise leaders understand that learning is a process. Wise leaders understand that learning is a process. Wise leaders understand that learning is a process. And because learning is a process, I have to be flexible when it comes to myself. Learning is a process. For a wise leader, learning is a process. We need to develop the culture of learning to make a difference. A culture of learning. So for you to lead yourself, don't allow the history that is not consistent with your purpose to distract you from your purpose. I said for you to lead yourself, don't allow the history that is not consistent with your purpose to distract you from your purpose. To lead yourself, you have to tell yourself that, hey, I can do this. I have what it takes to do this. I have what it takes to excel in this. I have what it takes to produce results in this. I have what it takes to make progress with this assignment. You need to tell yourself that. You need to learn to. Jesus did something that caught my attention in Luke Gospel chapter 4 from verse 18 to 19. If you read from Luke Gospel chapter 4 from verse 17, 18, and 19, the verse there, Jesus said, the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me because he has anointed me. A great leader speak well of himself. When I say speak well of yourself, I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm not talking about being a kind of leader who you just think that you're better than everyone. That's not what I'm saying. A wise leader speak well of himself. He considers the resources that God has given to him, or the resources that God has placed on his life, and he magnifies those resources. And that was what Jesus did. He said, the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me because he has anointed me. Can I say this to you? How you relate with yourself will determine the picture you create before people. I want to say that again. I said, how you relate with yourself will determine the picture you create before people. I want to say it again. I said, how you relate with yourself will determine the picture you create before people. People want to see how you talk about yourself. People want to see how you relate with yourself. People want to see how you consistently believe in yourself. People want to see how you pursue the vision. They want to see. Nobody wants to follow a leader who doesn't know how to treat himself well. No one wants to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to follow someone who have no direction, who have no vision, who have no focus, who have no passion. I want to follow a leader that helps me get better because I want to get better. I want to get better. I want to be an effective leader. So to lead yourself well, you don't have to be hard on yourself. You don't have to condemn yourself when you fail in responsibility. Don't condemn yourself, only inspire yourself to do it. When you fail to carry out some responsibility as a leader, don't condemn yourself. What you should do is to inspire yourself to do it, because condemnation is conversation without right energy. Condemnation is a conversation without right energy. Condemnation. So when a person condemns themselves, it becomes difficult for them to be effective. Condemnation is a conversation without right energy. Condemnation is a wrong conversation. It's an internal conversation that frustrates. Conversation is an internal condemnation. Condemnation is an internal conversation that frustrates. So when you begin to condemn yourself, I'm not qualified, I don't think I'm doing my best. No, don't always say, I don't think I'm doing my best. You said, I'm doing my best. You said, I'm getting better. Some of you are used to my text. I will often say, everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. You always see me say that everything is on purpose. I say things like that. If I text you and I tell you everything is going to be all right, I don't want you to feel sad. Everything is going to be all right. You see, you need to have a way of thinking that exonerates you from depression. You need to have a way of thinking that exonerates you from the sense of loss. The sense of loss. You need to have a thinking that exonerates you from that sense of loss, the sense of rejection. A great leader does not tolerate rejection. He treats rejection with understanding. A great leader, you treat rejection with understanding. You have to tell yourself, hey, I love myself. I'm different. I'm unique. I'm important. I'm relevant. I'm intelligent. I'm gifted. You need to say that to yourself. You need to talk to yourself about that. You need to let yourself know I'm better than what they may think about me. If a leader cannot successfully lead himself, it will be difficult for him to be an inspiration to those he leads. If you cannot successfully lead yourself, if you cannot successfully stand for your vision, for what you're doing, how are you going to lead me? How are you going to help me? So leading yourself also begins with self-discovery of who you are. There is what is called self-discovery. Being able to discover yourself. Wow, this is a word. This is a word for someone right now. Self-discovery. Self-discovery. Being able to discover yourself. Self-discovery. Being able to discover yourself. Being able to discover yourself. You see, when you discover who you are, it gives you a sense of belonging. It gives you a sense of direction. When you discover yourself, that was what David did. David discovered himself. He said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? I'm going to take him out. He knows himself. He knew his ability. If you discover yourself, you will no longer treat yourself below your expectation. You will treat yourself with honor. So discover yourself. Discover who you are. You are more than this. You are bigger than this. You wake up in the morning, you tell yourself the king is up. If you want to use any animal to represent yourself, you tell them, hey, the lion is up. Hallelujah. If you want to be gentle, tell them, oh, the dove is up, as gentle as dove, as wise as serpents. Serpent is wise. When serpent enters the place, he's watching, he's looking, he's smart. You wake up, you say, the king is up. You learn to speak to yourself. One of the ways you lead yourself is to speak to yourself. A lot of people are looking for others to speak to them. Oh, I like to tell myself I'm handsome. I like to tell myself, hey, you're a great guy. Oh, you're great. I like to tell myself that. I like to tell myself you're intelligent. You're too intelligent to fall below expectation. I like to tell myself that. I'm handsome. I like to tell myself that. I'm not looking for someone that will tell me that. I say that to myself. See, let me share this to you. Your esteem is directly related to your conversation towards you. Your esteem is directly related to your conversation towards you. So when you look at yourself as I'm that, all those things you say comes to pass. It's time to watch your conversation towards you. I want to say that again. It's time to watch your and this is so important in leadership. A leader that lacks confidence is a leader that cannot lead others. It has been said, if a goat is the captain of lions, that group of lions will be defeated. If a goat is the captain of lions, maybe 20 lions or 5 lions, those lions will be defeated. But if a lion is a captain of 20 goats, those 20 goats are going to win. You know why? Your leader becomes your inspiration. And when you lead yourself well, you become an inspiration to others. When you lead yourself well, this is so important. Leading yourself well. Speak well about yourself. Welcome yourself. Tell yourself something big is about to happen. Remind yourself that you're better than this. Remind yourself there is more to your life than this. You know, when you talk that way, you bring energy into your life. Someone was asking me sometimes, he said, Apostle, have you lived in the UK before? I said, no. He said, Apostle, have you lived in the US before? I said, no. He said, so why do you communicate this way? I said, I don't have to live in those places to do my communication. Do I do that? You see, people tend to think that the best places to live are those 2 places. That's what they think. But you see, you can be a great person like David from behind, even the jungles. You can be great from the jungles. Hallelujah. You can be great. Always learn to believe in the greatness in you. Learn to believe in the greatness in you. You know what happened? When people comes to you, when people work with you, they study your energy. Unknowing to most of us, people study our energy before they commit to our vision. People observe our energy before they commit to our vision. So if you're going to be an effective leader, ensure that your emotional energy is high. Your mental energy is high. Your spiritual energy is high. Don't let them see you in defeat. Don't let them see you in a situation where you don't know what to do. Always take control. A great leader always takes charge. That's why he's a great leader. He always takes charge. He always takes charge. He always wants to make a difference. He always wants to take the lead. Why? Because he's a great leader. He always wants to take charge. So leading yourself is important. Okay, the next point before we round up for today is the perspective of productive leaders. the perspective of productive leaders. Productive leaders will examine things, reevaluate things before they consider it. They value it, then they consider it. They look at it, they value it, they try to know the value of it. They examine it, they try to watch it to see what is going to be the behavior, what is it going to turn out to be. And then they consider it. They don't get into something because everybody's getting into it. They get into something because they have proven it. You have to learn to prove things. It's so important in leadership that you learn to prove things. You learn to prove things. One of the key scriptures is Romans 12 verse 2. In Romans 12 verse 3, it said, don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you will prove that which is good, acceptable, and the perfect will of God. To prove things. So a productive leader proves things. Proving things doesn't mean you're against it. It means you want to be sure before you invest into it. You prove things. Analysis is important. You learn to analyze conversation. You learn to analyze the deal. You learn to analyze the product. You learn to analyze the service. As in turn, you will look back and say, well, I think I made a very good judgment on this. Because if you don't examine things, you'll be making wrong investments. You'll always be losing money. You'll always be losing resources because excitement does not equal understanding. That you're excited about something doesn't mean you understood it. That you're excited about something doesn't mean you understood it. Understanding comes from knowledge. I like this. Understanding comes from knowledge. You need to have knowledge before you can gain understanding. And this is what is so important for a great leader, that if you want to truly excel in your calling, you need to learn to understand things, how things work. Now, what a productive leader would do is that he asks questions. Questions opens doors for answers, solutions, instructions, contribution, conversation. Questions, when you ask questions. Because when you ask questions, you have answers. When you ask questions, you have answers. So you ask questions. Questions reveal the heart to know. Reveals the desire to know. When you're asking questions, it's revealing the desire to gain knowledge. When you're asking questions, it's revealing the desire to gain knowledge. When I ask questions, I want to know. I want to know how it works. A lot of people don't know how to value right stuffs. Treasures are valued by the wise. Treasures are valued by the wise. Fools don't understand values. Fools don't understand value. But the wise understands value. Like now we're having this project 300, and most of you are watching this class from around the world. And, some people don't know that this costs so much money. Most people don't know that it costs money to have this kind of information come to a person. You know why they don't know? Because they have not been there. If you have ever looked for knowledge and then you find knowledge, you would do everything to get it. Because knowledge is the reason why life is going to be easy. Life will be a struggle if there is no knowledge. I have a friend of mine who have been friends for over 20 years now. I do the calling. 99% of the calling is done by me. 99% of follow-up in that relationship is done by me. I've been to his house, to his office, more times than he has been to mine. And the question is, why are you doing that? Why I do that? Because this fellow has something that is treasured. If I speak with him on phone for 30 minutes, he shares so much information. You see, there are relationships you follow up, not because of how the person look, but because of the benefits, the information, the things you get. This is where a lot of people missed it in life. Oh, you don't call me. Oh, you don't look for me. There are people that don't have to call you. You just have to call them. Your calling them doesn't make you lax. Your calling them means I need to get more of those resources you have. That's wisdom. I need to get more of those resources you got. I need to get more of them. I don't mind if I'm the one doing it. Who cares? Because you get better with learning. I said what? You get better with learning. And you improve through learning. So a wise leader has a progressive vision. When I say progressive vision, the vision that continues to move from one dimension to the other. Most of you, maybe in the next 5 years, or in the next 10 years, or in the next 2 years, or in the next 6 months, maybe be invited to somewhere to talk on leadership. And then most of the things I've shared in this Project 300, and some people wonder where you got them from. Because you are learning. If you're not learning, you won't be relevant. You can only be relevant when you are a person who chooses to learn. That's how you become relevant. You become relevant by learning. There are some difficult situations that may show up right now, but because you have engaged in learning, you can be able to judge things and say, well, I think we have to do it this way. I've noticed this before. I've noticed this problem before. Then we can handle it from here. We can be able to do it from here because you're learning. So you have to look at things from different perspectives, then examine them, judge them, discuss them. Look out for their advantage and their disadvantage. If the disadvantages are more, that simply means there is a high risk for this. But if the advantages are more, that means there is a low risk with it. So as a wise leader, you're considering what are the advantage? What are the disadvantage? What is the risk level? At what level of risk can we be able to handle when it comes to this business? What is the risk level? Because if you're going to be an effective leader, you need to understand risk. You need to understand risk because there are risks that come. So what is the risk level? What is the advantage? What are the disadvantages? Then we're making decisions to be productive and to be effective. So it's important that we understand that perspectives are important, and our perspective is being determined by our exposure. What we're exposed to, our exposure determines our perspective. The understanding, the knowledge we have determines perspective. So it's important that you look at things from the right perspective. You have to prove it. You have to judge it. You have to look at the risk level that is involved in it. You have to look at the advantage. You have to consider the disadvantages. Then you'll be making wise decision, because at this point, you're looking at it from a perspective that'll be more productive for you as a leader than others will ever look at it. Thank you so much for being part of this Project 300 today. It's quite an interesting time, and I know we'll have more 4 Saturdays to go. And when I come back here next week, Saturday, I'm going to look at, because this particular subject, I'm not done with it yet, this passion for effective leadership, I'm going to look at the leadership that is centered on goals. We're going to look at better ways to serve. We're going to look at let people know the state of things. These 3 things I should be able to cover the next week, Saturday. Then I will introduce something in class 2. We're going to look at class 2 from tomorrow. Next week, Saturday, we'll cover these 3 topics. And then we'll do course 2 by next week, Saturday. So once we come, if you don't come on time, once I come here, I see one person, I will start teaching. One person, I will start teaching. I won't repeat what I said, because I felt if it's important to you, I'm not charging anybody for these classes. So I think you need to make some prizes to show up. So there are things we're going to look at. We're going to look at priorities and principles. Priorities and principles. Priorities and principles as part of our class 2. After we've covered some things from the class 1, we're going to look at priorities and principle for next week, but we need to complete what we started this week. So we're going to look at priorities and principles. And a part of priorities and principles, we're looking at friendship and principles, friendship and principles. So we're going to have some great time next week, Saturday. Thank you for being part of this class. I want to say thank you to every one of you for coming. And let's make it a success. Let's invite some people. Let's not just keep this to ourselves. This is too good to just be for just few of us here. Too good. Too good. I like to listen to this class back. It's too good. This is timeless. We can make a book out of this to help people, Sometimes people say they're having leadership conferences. You go, there's crap. This is practical solutions for what to do. You just know what to do. All the things we have shared for the past 1 hour, you know what to do. You know what to run with. So I want to encourage you to also partner with this leadership Project 300. Whatever you can give to support it to keep going, we'll appreciate it. So partner with Project 300. You can go to finishworktv.com and give what you can to keep supporting Project 300. We'll have more 4 Saturdays to go, but it's going to be explosive. Can't tell you what will happen next week. Until I see you, don't forget this. There is greatness in you, and Jesus is coming soon.